across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk radio.
Those two, Baldy and the Tramp, they leave their studio in such a mess. I spend the first 20 minutes of my show. No wonder I was angry yesterday. You spend the first 20 minutes tidying the studio up. Flippin' heck.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yesterday was kinda like the 4th of July. The way your face lit up the entire sky. Had to look away because it hurt my eyes. The way you hit me was a big surprise. Yesterday I really didn't know what to say. I wasn't making any sense, but I felt okay. Asked you if it was my birthday. This kind of thing don't happen every day. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Yesterday I felt just like a child, a little curious, a little wild, live in the moment and you'll never go out of style. You know it's really been a while. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Let me tell you, yeah. Excuse me, won't you step aside? I don't got a room for you in my life. I don't got the patience to love again. I don't got the guts to keep you as a friend. Be an angel to fly away. I hope you reach some heavenly place. You come back when you're older. Bring me some raindrops from the Today I feel like I'm doing time. I didn't think it would be such a shameful crime. It's been a while since I let you go. Time don't let regrets go. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Oh, no, no. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Hey. So I gotta welcome angels, welcome angels,
Well, here we go. Then you have to stop it because it goes into a sweary song, you see. Yeah, that's the way it works. Good evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. Thank you to Baldy and the Tramp, who were on before, I guess. I mean, I was watching a film on my computer, so I have no idea. But I'm led to believe that they were sat here for the 3 hours. It certainly smells like they were sat here for 3 hours and were doing a radio show. Tonight, a little bit calmer than yesterday, shall we? Just have a gentle wander through a Wednesday. I feel a little bit sad about Tara Palmer-Tompkinson. I feel a little bit sad. I didn't know her particularly well, but I sort of knew her a little bit. And our paths crossed, I don't know, like 10 times maybe or something. And I know that I really annoyed her once without intending to. She was on a TV show that I was on. We were probably both off our faces, if I'm completely honest. And I know that she was annoyed by something I said. But I'd seen her since then, and I've not seen her for, I don't remember the last time I saw her, a few years ago, so I don't know her. But I'd been in her company. If I was in a room and I saw her, I would say hello to her, So I just feel a little bit sad about that. And, it's kind of the same age as me, a couple of years old, well, a year older, I'll be 44 soon. So I feel, that's kind of... what's it kind of done? I don't know. When people start dying that are your age, you think, flipping heck. And I know that she had a brain tumour, didn't she? That was we don't know why she passed away or what went on, but we know that she was troubled, and we know that she had a brain tumour, and it's just flipping heck. I was doing a voiceover. I was doing a voiceover for the Channel 5 thing, for Laugh Out Loud. It's a really good one. It's one going out this weekend. It's about magicians. It's very, very funny. It really is. It really is one of the funniest that we've done. I'm not sure what day it goes out. There's a whole 5-minute section of people doing that trick. You know that trick, and it is brilliant, where you hold up a blanket, right, and then the blanket drops and you've disappeared, right? And so it's loads of people just doing that. And the trick is, spoiler alert, you hold up the blanket and you kind of you run off before it falls, right? But it's like a whole montage of people running into a wall because they've totally misjudged it. It's hilarious, and Dave Spikey is so funny on it. He's really funny. So I was doing that. So I was in quiet, and we did it in record time. It normally takes 2 hours. We knocked it off in 1 hour and 15. I know. So either we're getting very good at it, me and Ben, the producer, or we don't give a stuff. It's one of the two. I couldn't possibly comment. But we did that, and there were some really funny clips in it. What was the other... there was one that really made me laugh out loud, and we had to stop, because every time it came on, I kept laughing at it. There's a very funny bit, sawing, a lady in half. Very funny bit. And Dave Spikey's commentary over it is just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So I was doing that today. So I was in a comparatively, up and down today, up and down. But I had a nice thing. I got up late, and then I went and saw my eldest swim at school, and he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Up and down kind of day, and the old head is wobbling, the old soul is wobbling a little bit, the old spirit is being riddled with ennui. So, up and down, but that finished early, and it's like, I can go and get a nice little walk and get some fresh air. And then I came out, and Ben said, Tara Tompkinson's died. It was like, flipping heck. And it was just, it just kind of caught me unawares, really. And it's just sort of, I don't know what, and there'll be, it was just a strange one. It was just a strange one. It's left me feeling a little bit, well, the word is discombobulated, isn't it? I think. It's just made me think, flipping out. I'm going to be 44 in a couple of months, and people my age are dying. People my age are dying. Mum, can you believe it? Oh, I tell you what, flipping heck. Talk about being a nutcase. I've been absolutely insane today. I'll be honest. Up and down, like, emotionally. I heard this brilliant thing on Radio 4 today that I thought was going to be rubbish. Normally, they're things that are on at 2:15 in the afternoon after the Archers. They're normally not very good, right? And this thing was brilliant. It was this bloke, this Welsh bloke, this Welsh gay bloke. Both of those points are relevant. That's why I've mentioned them. And it was sort of a cross between a documentary and a drama about his mum, really, and there were other bits in it. It was about him and his mum, and it was just so brilliantly done. And he'd found loads of cassettes of him and his sister as kids, and it really made me think. I had a brilliant tape of me and my sister, and I've lost it. Someone's chucked it away. Someone has chucked it away, and I've lost it. And I was the keeper of that, and I've lost it. But it was so good that I parked up in a multi-storey car park. Brilliant multi-storey car park I found in London. It's just outside the congestion charge. You can park there for like 6 hours, and it's only 13 quid, bargain. But I parked in, and it's an underground, but I could still get the Radio 4 digital signal. So I stayed in the car listening to this. I didn't plan to listen to it. I planned to stay in the car and have a little doze for 20 minutes because I was knackered. But I ended up listening to this. Oh, God, it was so good. Oh, it was so good. And you know his mum's going to die at the end. You know she dies at the end because he's told you at the start that she dies. And, I was in floods of tears. I was in floods of tears in the car listening to that. And I'll be honest, these new pills, it's not that easy to cry. You can't really cry on them. It stops you crying. But this thing was so good. I thoroughly recommend it. It was, I'll find it because I tweeted him, and it was called something like "My Mum Taught Me to Sing" or something, and it was on Radio 4. I really recommend you listen to it. And I thought it was going to be a bit rubbish because it's a bit camp, and it was a little bit. I thought the first few minutes, I thought, this guy's irritating me, but once I tuned into it, once my brain tuned into it, it was brilliant. I was talking yesterday about, for me, good radio is storytelling, is good storytelling. Oh, this guy knew how to tell a story. He knew how to tell a story. And he was, and that was it. The bit that got me, right? The bit that really got me was he was, I can't quite remember how he went into it, but he said that when he was very, very, sort of camp, flamboyant child, and he was wanting to be a singer. Mum, I want to be a singer. It's like that kind of vibe. In fact, that was a direct line from it. And he said that when he was young, he found out really early on that if you can slow any song down, and it will suddenly, just by slowing it down, any song will suddenly have great import and be really powerful and really moving and really meaningful. And he said that he found this out about the age of 13, and the song that he found it out with, the Dogtanian theme. The Dogtanian theme from Dogtanian and the Muskehounds. And he was playing that really slowly, and it's like, oh, flipping heck! It melted my heart! Dogtanian really slowly. It was incredible. I don't know what the rules are, but do you know what? I'm going to try and find that little bit and play that little bit of the Dogtanian theme because it was just, flipping heck. Why have we got a load of calls racked up? I haven't done anything yet. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I found the thing. I'm trying to find the clip. I can't find the exact clip. I'll go through it in a bit. 0344 499 1000. We got some calls here. Let's go to Robbie first. Evening, Robbie.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing terribly, mate. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you.
Nice
Here
one.
in sunny Weston-super-Mare.
There you go.
Well, sort of sunny.
It's night time, mate. How can it be sunny? It's dark.
Well, here we can do anything, I tell you.
Well, there you go. Didn't Weston-super-Mare, didn't your pier burn down?
Yeah. I was actually away on holiday, so I wasn't...
All right, he's got an alibi. I wasn't accusing you of doing it, mate. I didn't say it was you.
To cover your back.
Flipping heck. Anyway, Robbie, you've called in. I'm imagining you have something to say.
Well, I've actually been recommended to you because I haven't tuned into your programme before. It sounds really good. A good friend of mine, Barry Westwood, who I believe you've spoken to a fair few times, is a really good friend of mine.
Oh, is Barry the elderly vegetarian hippie?
You know him well.
Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely, yeah. I worked with him for many years at the Winter Gardens in Weston. And, had many acts.
What were you doing at the Winter Gardens? What was your role there, Robbie?
Well, I was kind of technical, sound and lighting there.
And what kind of acts? Who did you see? Who did you light up?
Oh, crumbs. Well, quite a few people.
Go on, give us the names. We've
had quite a few tribute acts, known for quite a few of those. Bootleg Beatles that have done quite a bit of touring.
Bootleg Beatles, yes, like them.
Quite a few guest speakers, a few Tory conferences we had down there.
Never mind.
Yeah, I find it hard to say that, bit of a...
Never mind.
Thing of the throat as I say that. Yeah, Yeah, lots of bits and bobs, and lots of local people that have had an opportunity to come and perform and do bits. It's
Yes.
really good. It promoted a lot of people from around the area.
I like a bit of Western. I haven't been to Western for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah, it's a lovely little place. I live in Sand Bay, which is just a little bit further around the coast, and I really I grew up here and spent a lot of time in London.
I would love to live by the coast, right? Because I like that, but not during the summer, because that would be silly. But during the winter, when it's dark and it's wet, and you can feel the salt in the air.
It's great.
Yeah, but it's brilliant.
It is absolutely refreshing. A good walk.
Yeah, refreshing, cleanses the soul. You're trending on Twitter now, Robbie.
Oh, good. I don't think I've ever come across Twitter. I've tried to avoid it all through my life.
Scott Balcony. This is how radio can connect people, right? Scott Balcony is a T-shirt printer in Uxbridge, and he's just tweeted, "I'm listening to Talk Radio. Barry Westwood's mate has just rung in."
Absolutely.
You see. Never mind. So, have you got anything you want to? I tell you what, Robbie. Because it's your first time here.
Yeah.
Why don't I introduce you to the regulars? Yeah.
Oh, that would be fab.
Say hello to Alan Caddick.
Hey, how we doing?
Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thanks. Where are you phoning from?
I'm in Birmingham.
In Birmingham? Oh, you're not too far away, really.
Just down the M5.
Down the M5. In fact, only a few years ago, I was doing pantomime up there.
All right, well,
Aladdin,
I
you've
was
got brilliant
wondering, because
pantomime up there.
what you said last night, there's been some reaction to it.
Oh, really?
Because, Ian had a massive rant last night about radio.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned on the Radio Today website.
I had a massive what?
Rant. R-A-N-T.
Rant. Okay, carry on, Alan, carry on.
Be careful.
Yep.
It was mentioned on the Radio Today website about it. Because, last night he was learning about this new policy for management to tell DJs how to act on the radio. Apparently the station, the owners of that station, they've been online defending it.
Well, what do you say to that one, Ian?
Well, Robbie hasn't got a clue, Alan, what you're banging on about, or probably even what the words are that are coming out of your mouth. Don't worry, Robbie. I can be indelicate where you have been very polite.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir.
You translate.
Yes. No, I don't understand a word he's saying either.
I'm talking about the start of yesterday's show.
Yeah, well, the start... Yeah, well, Robbie, you weren't listening. The start of yesterday's show, now we're getting meta. Now the radio people are right, because now we're not only pulling back to reveal... We're pulling back a curtain to reveal that there's another curtain, and we're going to pull that one back now.
Okay.
Let's not dwell on what we did yesterday, Alan.
Suffice to
say, somebody from Bauer got in touch and said, "Well done, but I got to keep their name anonymous." Suckers. Alan, thanks for calling. Goodbye. I don't know what he was banging on about either, Robbie. Well, listen, Robbie, it is a phone-in show, unlike any other phone-in show.
I'm learning that, and it's lovely to hear different people.
It might. Well, you will hear in capitals and italics different people on this show. That is guaranteed, sir.
Excellent.
Thanks for calling, Robbie.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Tutty bye. I wouldn't be surprised if Robbie had done a little bit of jocking in his time. Jock's voice, didn't he? 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. It's going to be a little bit calmer than yesterday's Shout Fest. Jay, good evening, Jay.
Good evening. Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Jay.
You almost really want to stop listening and go and get the podcast from yesterday, because I didn't hear yesterday.
Oh, mate, you missed...
You lost a listener because you were so good at plugging your previous station.
You missed a belter, shall we say. It certainly all kicked off on air yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'd have caught up by now if, I didn't like to say, almost there's a couple of times really, there's not enough time to catch up from the previous day before you listen to that day.
What can I do to help, Jack? Well, how can I make that better, Jay?
I think it's not really down to you, is it? I think it's down to Kath, who probably should work harder, maybe.
Yes, well, she does work very hard. Maybe, Jay, you should be working harder to keep up.
Yeah, to keep up, yeah. But if she could just stay until 5 in the morning editing the podcast and get that out in the morning, that would be great, wouldn't it? Would that be good for everyone?
Well, no, because you'd still have the same amount of time to listen to the podcast.
No, because I'd have a whole day.
Well, you've still got a whole day to listen to the podcast now, but it's just the day after.
No. Yeah, but not before the live show on that night.
Well, stay up and listen to the live show.
Yeah, I know. But it's a nightmare.
Use the excellent Listen Again facility
on that's what I should do.
The talkradio.co.uk website.
No, you're right. There's no excuse. I apologise to Catherine. She doesn't have to stay up till 5 in the morning.
Well, she will consider your apology and she'll let you know in 30 days' time. Can't believe Barry Westwood's mate rang in tonight. Can you believe that? Where were you when Barry Westwood's mate rang in?
I liked him. He seemed like a nice guy.
He seemed like an absolutely delightful gentleman. But where were you, dear listener, the night that Barry Westwood's mate rang in?
It's a thing now.
It's a silly job, isn't it? It's a silly job.
Yeah. I just wanted to phone up. I noticed you've not been so chirpy, and you've been having a few issues recently. And,
yes.
So just thought I'd give you some support on that one, and wish you all the best.
As you said that, I looked over to my pile of newspapers, and there, slap bang on the top, are Alicia Duval's knockers. I'm going to fold those over because they're. Can't fold the paper. Oh, that's it. God blimey. That's. Is she still
getting them out? Is she?
Well. The Star, for some reason, the Daily Star thinks that you and I are interested in who Simon Cowell has had sex with.
Right.
So, and Alicia Duval is now adding her name to that list of brave people who've taken a hit for the team. What are you doing? I've got the feeling, Jay, that I've not got your full attention.
Sorry, I'm dealing with doors in the house, that's all.
Okay, I tell you what, you deal with the doors, I'll speak to Keith. Good evening, Keith.
Hey, hello, Ian.
Huh?
You caught me off guard there.
Right, okay, well, you get on guard. Let's go to Barry Westwood. Good evening, Barry Westwood.
How you doing, Ian?
Where were you when your friend phoned in?
I was actually listening to the show as I have been doing since August, and what a lovely guy, my mate, isn't he?
Isn't he just? He's now trending on Tinder.
I tell you, I worked with Robbie after he was a child actor with the Sylvia Young School of Acting.
Was he in any movies?
He's done loads of things, and I'll tell you something about him, shall I?
Go on, yeah, give us some gossip.
Did you notice? Well, you will appreciate it, obviously, being a radio broadcaster.
Yes.
What a lovely speaking voice.
I said that he sounded like he might have been a jock.
Well, what it was, I think he actually had his voice trained at Crofts.
At Crofts?
At Crofts, you know, the dog show?
He had his voice trained at Crofts?
He had his voice trained at Crofts Dog Show,
yes. Barry Westwood, you've crossed the Rubicon. You're talking nonsense.
I know. Ian, seriously, Robbie, he is one of life's nice guys, you know. I like this show, so much so that I'm thinking of going along to my local Labour Party next meeting, and I'm trying to get this prescribed on the NHS.
Well, you see, something needs to be done, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and you know, this is well, you can't beat it for cheering people off.
You can't beat a bit of bully.
No, and come back to Robbie, as I say, working with people in life. I worked for 50 years, you know. I was a coal miner for 17.
Yes. You're trending on Tinder now.
Oh, well done.
Scott Balcony,
I don't understand anything about it.
No.
I'm a total technophobe.
Scott Balcony, who is a T-shirt printer in Uxbridge, has now just tweeted, I'm listening to Talk Radio. Barry Westwood's just rung in.
Well, you tell him if he prints some out, get in touch with me, and I'll certainly buy a few.
Okay, well, this is beautiful. Probably illegal,
will.
But beautiful. Wowzers. Okay, sorry, carry on, Barry Westwood.
What I was going to say, I worked for about 17 years. I come from Cannock. I don't think it's far from Caddick.
No, well, yes.
And, it's a long story. So I was underground at 16.
What do you mean underground? What does that mean?
Coal miner.
Oh, okay, working in the coal mine. Up bed in
was
the
Big
cool
Bad John. That was a good song, Big Bad John.
Yep.
Anyway, I found myself, my wife and myself, we moved over to Weston-super-Mare in 1975 to manage a miners' convalescent home.
Yes.
And when the Tories, sorry about that, I'm like Robbie, I'm a very political person when it comes to them.
Yes.
When the coal industry went into decline, obviously the jobs went. So I finished up at the Winter Gardens. Now, Robbie came to me virtually from acting. He came back, eventually went on to do a degree in acting, which he successfully completed.
Yes.
And, I mean, he'd always worked, and he was doing very, very well.
Yes.
He met his lady, who's now his wife, and he came out of acting.
Oh, I thought when he came out, I thought you meant he married her and she was a beard.
No,
he came out.
No. He came out of acting.
Yes.
And he's now a school teacher, primary teacher.
Oh, fantastic. That's what I'm going to do, Barry Westwood. When this all goes pear-shaped, which it will do, sooner than we think, I'm going to knock this on the head and become a primary school teacher.
Well, there you go, Ian. I'm sure you'd be, well equipped for that job. I'm sure you'd pull it off well.
Well, get two innuendos in that sentence there, which are inappropriate in my mind. The fact that I noticed those two innuendos means I'm probably not the right person to teach primary school kids. But that's the plan, Barry. One day, once as Danny Baker would say, the biscuit wheels come off the gravy train, I will become a primary school teacher.
Well, I tell you what, mate, in my next life, as you know, I sort of follow the Buddhist line. If in my next life, and you do eventually become a primary teacher, and I've passed on, I hope that you're my teacher, because the ones that taught me, they'd all come back from the war, bless them. They were all a bit messed up, you know. So there was a lot of violence in classrooms, but that's another...
I wish that we... I know you buy into this reincarnation thing, and what number do you reckon you're on, Barry? What time round is this for you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a clue. I mean, other than the fact that I hope it'll be another good journey.
Isn't it when you get to 8? Isn't 8 the means you're like that's your last one?
I don't know. I mean, the Buddha was supposed to have had 83, but then the Buddha was a much more gifted.
The Buddha was brilliant because
I'm not too sure how many I had. You know,
the Buddha was could be a man or a woman, couldn't he?
Yeah, so they say.
Yeah.
A teacher. He wasn't a.
Very trendy now.
He wasn't a god that you worship or you ask to do things for. He was a
all
teacher.
I know about Buddha, right, is from watching the TV series Monkey Magic. But, in fairness, do you know that programme, Barry?
No,
it's wicked. It's the legend of the monkey, right, basically. The Monkey King. And it's a true legend. But so all I know about Buddhism is from watching Monkey Magic. But they were pretty spot on with their kind of Buddhist tales and stuff. Even though it was like a kid show and it was a comedy, the Buddhist stuff was pretty spot on. You should read the book that it's based on, Monkey Journey to the East or something. It's called. It's good. He's he got thrown out of heaven for being naughty and turned into a monkey.
Oh yeah, I'll give that a go.
Barry,
I love the reading. I love the books.
Have a little look at that. It's good. That thank you, Barry. If you're a fan of Monkey Magic, then read the book. I used to read the book that it was based on, like every couple of years. Monkey Journey to the East or to the West? To the East. Long time ago. Born from an egg and under the sun, he's the guy when everyone could have some fun. Monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic. What a cocky, saucy monkey this one is. All the gods were angry and they punished him until he was saved by a kindly priest. And that was the start of their pilgrimage west. That's it, because it should... Yeah, I know, because you think it's going to rhyme priest with east. It doesn't, it's west. To saved by a kindly priest, that was the start of their pilgrimage west. So he was going from China to India, which is west. 0344 499 1000, late nights with Iain Lee, Talk Radio.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation. Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Just got to check I've got this right.
What a cocky, saucy monkey this one is. All the gods were angered and they punished him until he was saved by a kindly priest. And that was the start of their pilgrimage west.
There we go, yeah, I thought so. Guys, you've got an obvious rhyme there. For crying out loud! Where's Jay gone? Jay's gone to bed. Lightweight. Off with his head. And what you don't see there, well, what I see and what you don't see because you're listening, is when they're saying what a cocky, saucy monkey this one is, he's having a wee against a tree, and then he graffitis his name in the tree. It turns out that's Buddha's hand. And that's true! That's part of the actual legend. Because Buddha says to him, he says to Buddha, she says, right, you can't even fly out of the palm of my hand. And he went, oh, what are you talking about, Buddha? Of course I can fly out of the palm of your hand. I'm a Monkey King. You watch. Jumps on the pink cloud and he flies for days and days and days. And he flies. Oh, I won't prove Buddha wrong. Flies for days and days. He goes, oh, stop now. That's not me being racist. That's how they spoke on the programme. It's actually a pretty good impression of Monkey Magic. If anyone was racist, it was the people that did the dubbing of it for BBC Two. And he's, oh, stop now. And he stops. He goes, oh, monkey needs to have a slash. And so he stops and he has a wee on a tree and he carves his name into Monkey was here. And then Buddha goes, oh, monkey, and it pulls back, and basically Buddha has made his stroke her hand infinite, and he's spent days and days flying, and he's still on Buddha's hand. It's good that Monkey Magic. It wears a bit thin after a while, Monkey Magic, but it is enough good that. The music, of course, done by the weird thing is, right, so it's Monkey Magic, right, so it's Buddhist, and they're playing Chinese characters that travel to India, but it's made by Japanese TV. Isn't that weird? And, of course, Tripitaka was supposed to be a boy, but was played by a girl. She died quite young of leukemia in real life. Pigsy was played by two different actors. I always thought, when I was young, that Pigsy was played by Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees. Genuinely. Because I remember watching Monkey when I was about 6, and I thought he was played by Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees. And in my head, I thought that Mickey Dolenz had a contract. At the age of 6, I was thinking about contracts. And in my head, I constructed an idea that he had a contract. He could only appear in things that had the word monkey in the title. How nuts is that? Miriam Margolyes, of course, Andrew Sachs did the voices. Yes. And the first ever episode of Monkey Magic I watched, I remember my friend, the excellently named Orlando Kelly, and his brother Christopher, not quite such a cool name, but both delightful gentlemen, twins, I believe, not identical. They told me about this brilliant programme called Monkey Magic. Here's the thing, it wasn't actually called Monkey Magic, it was just called Monkey. And they said, I remember sitting on my mum's lap. I said, Mum, we've got to watch this programme. I must have been about 7. So we've got to watch this programme called Monkey Magic. It was on like 5:15 on BBC Two on a Tuesday. And the first episode I saw was Pigsy and Sandy. So Pigsy is a pig god, and he got turned into a pig by Buddha for being, bit rapey, actually. And Sandy was a water god who lived underwater. And they had to walk to India from China. They couldn't fly. It was cheating. Keith and Jerry, I will come to you in a bit. Jay's naffed off, so I'm kind of filling in for where Jay would be. And the first episode, they found the fountain of fertility. And Pigsy and Sandy were well thirsty, so they drank from it, and they got pregnant. And I'm watching this as a 7-year-old, and they're both pregnant, lying there with, pregnant. And then they're having little fantasies that they've got. The way I remember it is Pigsy has a little fantasy about his baby and protecting his baby. And in his fantasy, he's got an actual pig on his back. A pig is like tied to his back, and he's fighting all these demons to protect his pig. Little wonderful, insane nonsense. Theme tune done by a Japanese prog rock group called Godiego. I never know how you say it. And they were like a prog group. They were like the Japanese Yes. And they recorded the theme tune. And they did a brilliant soundtrack album. They also did the great closing theme. Did you ever see this programme, Ed? You ever? Oh, man alive. No wonder we're all screwed up. They did the closing theme was, of course, the powerful Gandhara. Do you remember that? Gandhara, Gandhara, they said was in India. I haven't got time to talk now. Keith, Jerry, come to you after this.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
03444991000. Evening, Jerry. We can't hear it, Jerry.
You can't hear it?
Well, not really.
I'll turn it off then.
Yeah, turn it off then, isn't it? Save your internet.
Did they repeat it?
Yeah, they repeated Monkey a bit. Then when they brought it out on VHS, like 3 episodes a time, I tried to buy them all. I nearly bankrupted myself. Thing is, you only ever want to watch it once again, and then that's it. You're done. But
I didn't know what was happening when I watched it originally. It's a bit bizarre.
It was. Oh, I loved it. I flipping loved it.
Didn't Sandy have a song as well? Sandy, sorry, had a song.
Sandy had a song. Yeah, they all did. And the fella that played Monkey, when I was in Japan last, I was watching some TV programme, and they were, there was all like these old rockers on there. He was on there. He was in a band called, in the 60s, called like the Spiders or something. It was something like that. And he was in like a sort of rock and roll, like a Beatles knockoff.
Just reminded me, the Curry Quartet's still going.
Yeah, but there's only 3 of them.
Oh.
That's sad but true. Yeah, there's I don't know how many it's Ken Hughes left, but yeah, there's only 3 of them now, but they're still around.
That's good. Hang on. You're listening to Talk Radio, playing all the phone calls all the time, every day.
All the hits, all the days, all the time, or whatever it is. Did you see, right, just quickly to go back to that, the radio, and I never mentioned the company, I'm clever, man, I never mentioned the company, but the company that put out that, issued that ridiculous set of instructions yesterday, they released the driest, most humourless, most pompous press release today, basically having a pop at me and Chris Moyles and Danny Baker, but without mentioning our names. And it was, while other people were deconstructing this, we were creating award-winning radio. All right, guys, calm down.
You know what the worst line in that memo was?
Yeah.
We don't care about the commercials. That don't say to companies to advertise them.
If my boss asked me to get on my knees and suck the commercials, I would do that, because those guys feed my kids, they pay my mortgage, they're what, they put dollar in my back pocket.
Tell one person who won't mind listening to just 15 seconds for Nigel Farage.
Oh, flipping heck, yeah, jeez, that guy. You just depress me now, Jerry, by mentioning his name.
No, he's all right. He'll go. He's like
a knob.
Yeah. Just shake him back down.
Yeah.
Shake him back, is he? Shake
He's
him back.
having eggs chucked at him.
And Stoke.
Yeah, he doesn't mind having eggs chucked at him, just as long as you separate the whites. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That is someone tweeted that. That's not an original. Someone tweeted that. I don't know who. I should credit them, but I don't know who.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. Hey, you got anything else, Sheriff, if I cut you off?
Are you on tomorrow? Is there a show in the morning tomorrow or something?
What?
I said, there's something going on tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah, the Rabbit Hole, the episode 2 of the Rabbit Hole, the show that me and Kath do, is going to be available. So make sure you've subscribed to it in advance.
It's not a live show, can't ring dinner.
No.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. Stick it up your bum. Yes, if you, the Rabbit Hole, if you go to iTunes, type that in, and you can subscribe to that. A new one tomorrow. Don't forget, on Friday, we will be just perusing through the iTunes reviews for this show and looking at the ones left over the past 10 days, let's say. And the one that tickles our fancy the most, by coincidence, that person might get like a mug or some books or a CD or something that we find lying around the office. They might get that sent to them. Oh, I meant to ask you a question, Catherine. Could you go on the microphone?
Yeah.
I thought, Jai, let's go to Keith. Evening, Keith.
Hi, Ian. How's it going?
It's going all right, Keith.
Now, my thing popped up because I'm obviously listening to Twitter, reading Twitter, should I say. I worked for about a year at a group, GWR, radio group.
Yep.
In Dunstable.
Yes.
Children radio. As a computer analyst, basically.
Right.
And the people that criticised so much were the people behind the scenes, not the people actually doing the job.
The people that have never made a radio show in their lives. Yeah.
And they wouldn't even phone up, let alone make a radio show.
Yeah.
And as I know, it was only briefly from 97 to 98. I think it's disgusting that they feel it's right to sit there on their computers, yet they wouldn't even have the balls to phone you.
Well, you know, that's what some people are like. The thing is, I'm not one of these people that has a sense of entitlement. Well, why won't this MP come onto my radio show? Why won't this police officer? People don't want to come on the radio and do things in public. Then that's absolutely fine. I've not got a problem with that.
The presenters were always lovely, anyways, to talk to.
Yeah.
They were sound. It was just the back staff that you used to have to deal with. I only lasted a year. And I ended up turning from computer analyst to a decorator.
Oh, flipping it. That's a switch, isn't it?
Well, it is, because it was very stressful. They were very demanding, and I had enough. Before that, I worked at London Stock Exchange as a computer analyst.
Hang on a minute. Did we have computers in the mid-90s?
We did have computers, I'm afraid to say.
Really? I'm trying to think back.
It was back in the Yahoo chat days. That's how you got girls. You'd have no pictures or nothing.
Oh, you're taking a punt then, weren't you?
If you're a computer geek, I'd travel to Sheffield and everything.
What, for a little bit of nookie?
Well, to see what they look like.
What we call in the CB days an eyeball.
Basically, yeah, it was basically that, yeah.
Wowzers.
But, what year were you in Horizon?
Oh, jeez. Whatever year Robbie Williams' Angels was a hit, 97, I think.
Just missed. I just missed you.
Keith, you didn't miss much, mate, because my time there was not particularly good. Thank you, Keith. 03444 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, that was a nice flurry of calls. We'll have a look in the papers, shall we? Let's go and have a look in the papers kind of night tonight. I'm feeling a little bit, you'll say delicate. I'm feeling a little bit delicate. Oh, here we go. Look at this. There's a lot of sex in the papers today. A lot of sex. So tonight's show, I think, is going to be a little bit blue. Something for the dads. Okay, something for the dads. God knows why. Is Simon Cowell got a programme on at the moment? Is there a programme on? Because for some reason, the newspapers think that we're interested that he's had who he's had sexual intercourses with. So Katie Price and Alicia Duval. But also this also is a lie. I think. Listen to this. This is a lie, right? This is a lie. Front page of the Daily Star. Simon Cowell is a love machine. Now, I've seen a love machine. Those things, they look absolutely brutal. Who romped 11 times in one night with Alicia Duval. You'd be shooting sand. That's not even possible. That is even at my virile peak when I was like between the ages of 15 and 17. It was solo. But well, I'm not going to go into specifics. But I had a day off sick 14 times just to see. But and by the 8th, it was just to see if I could. The music mogul is, quotes, sensitive but domineering. Look, I want to see you on top of this. In the bedroom, just like sex-crazed 50 Shades star Christian Grey. What the hell? I wasn't even going to read this, but the full story is page 5, shall we? Made me sigh. Simon Cowell made me sigh 11 times a night. Simon Cowell is a love machine who romped 11 times in a night, his ex Alicia Duval claims. The former glamour model said Cowell is like the 50 Shades star Christian Grey in the bedroom, sensitive but domineering. Oh, she even admitted, so I was right, here we go. She even admitted the music boss analysed her sexual performance as if she was an X Factor contestant and told her where she could improve. Flippin' heck! Look, I think you're quite good at performing that. The ex-celebrity Big Brother... I don't even know who Alicia Duval is. said Cowell knows how to get inside a woman's head. I think I know why. The pair met in a hotel bar in London's swanky Knightsbridge area when he was working as a music producer for Universal. It was before the X Factor chief became a household name, but he oozed confidence as he approached a group of babes. Hey, who's that guy oozing confidence? He's oozing something. Alicia told Closer magazine she was having a drink at the Mandarin Oriental with a pal when Smooth Cowell made his move. She said he'd been staying in the luxury hotel's penthouse while he was sprucing up his own home. He came over and started chatting. It was like a scene out of Pretty Woman, said Alicia. Hang on a minute. In the film Pretty Woman, she's a prostitute, Alicia. What have you just compared yourself to? He's really talkative, flattering, and knows how to get inside a woman's head. He recognised me as a glamour model and we chatted all night. He was clearly interested. By their third or fourth date in 2001, she admitted things got steamy with Cowell, 57. We ended up doing it 11 times in one night, Alicia, 41, recalled. Why? This is so made up, right? This is so made up. And why is he... these stories must be coming from him. They must be coming from him. What is going on? And I'm wondering, and I don't know if there is, but I wonder if this is somehow... And I'm not saying there is any connection, but this is the complete opposite of the David Beckham story, isn't it? We all hate David Beckham now because he's a slimy git who does charity work just so he can become a knight. That's that thread. I don't necessarily buy that, but that's that thread, right? And yet this is so the opposite of that. It makes me think, has someone got something on Cowell and he's kind of jumping the gun a bit? He's getting in first. The cosmetic surgery addict said once they started, they could not stop and slept a little bit in between, but only for a few minutes before having sex again. Where's Sam gone? Get Sam back. Phone Sam up. Get Sam back. Well, don't let him bottle it. Phone him up. We'll go straight to him. Tell him we'll go straight to him. Alicia added, he would analyse my performance like a judge on a TV show and say how there could be improvement next time. Sam, where have you gone, you bottler? He was just like 50 Shades Lothario, Christian Grey, sensitive but domineering. We're getting the same two quotes again and again and again. She said he had similarities to the sex-crazed fictional character. The pair dated for 6 months, but it came to an end after Simon invited to a showbiz party but did not take her. Miss Duval says she could well imagine Simon having it off with Katie Price because Simon has a type. He likes super slim women with gigantic boobs. That's a type, is it? That's a type. Anyway, so apparently we're interested in this. We're not interested in this. 0344 499 1000. Sam, I don't know where the hell you've gone, but you've call back in. It feels like you bottled this, and I would hate to think that you. Let's assume that there was a problem with the phone. Another sex story that's in the newspapers. Well, it's all. I mean, honestly, it's all filth in the papers. It's almost as if the fact that we've said we're not going to take lone children refugees anymore is not important. The government decided that we're not going to take child refugees if they're coming on their own anymore. Stop doing that. But Simon Cowell can have it off 11 times in one night, guys. Imagine, that's important. We'll do this one after the break because I think what Ann Summers gets up to is worthy of a little bit more than a minute's talk up to the news. This is important stuff. Art says, can you put the podcasts on SoundCloud? No. I think it's the simple answer to that. I don't know. Why would we do that, for crying out loud? That would just make things more complicated. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's a slightly more laid back, gentle stroll through the newspapers today. And of course, whatever you fancy calling in about. You're more than welcome to pick up on the stuff that I'm talking about, or you can call in about anything you want. All you have to do is pick up the telephone, dial the telephone number 0344 499 1000. You'll speak to Catherine. She will take your name and your number, and she will call you back. You then come on the radio and talk to me. It's as simple as that, guys. You dig? Do you dig it? Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
In the worlds before Monkey, primal chaos reigned. Heaven sought order, but the phoenix can fly only when its feathers are grown. The four worlds formed again and yet again, as endless eons wheeled and passed. Time and the pure essences of heaven, the moisture of the earth, the powers of the sun and the moon, all worked upon a certain rock, old as creation. And it became magically fertile. That first egg was named Thought. Tathagata Buddha, the father Buddha, said, with our thoughts we make the world. Elemental forces caused the egg to hatch. From it then came a stone monkey. The nature of monkey was irrepressible.
Falls from an egg on a mountain top. The funkiest monkey that ever popped. He knew every magic trick under the sun. To tease the gods and everyone and have some fun. Monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic. Monkey, this one is. All the gods were angered and they punished him until he was saved by a kindly priest, and that was the start of their pilgrimage west. Monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic, monkey magic.
See, listen, they're the Japanese Yes. It's prog. It's proggy. Actual Japanese prog rock, guys. The 70s and the 80s were messed up. By the way, Sam, who we were trying to get on, he turns out he thought he was phoning Talk Sport. What a muppet. What an absolute pudding. 0344 499 1000, guys. Late nights with Iain Lee. Buzz off. Shocker vibrator in Ann Summers' recall. High Street sex shop Ann Summers is recalling a popular vibrator over fears prolonged use, could result in an electric shock. The store warns wires could become exposed on the 9.5-inch black power wand. I thought black power meant something completely different, but risking a 240-volt jolt. Oh, was it good? I got a volt jolt. Felt like about 240. It would be, huh? It doesn't plug into the mains, does it? It can't plug into... It's plugged into the mains. Flipping heck. You can't plug that into... Don't... I learnt this as a kid. Don't mix electricity and fluids. This is insanity. Oh, was it good? A volt jolt. Ann Summers has taken the £58.50 body massager that provides intense vibrations off its website. It's also urged customers to stop using the mains-powered toy. You cannot. And also, all of the plug sockets by my bed are taken up. You'd have to go to the bookcase. But you have to go to the bookcase under the window. Do it there. Or get an extension lead. You have to get an extension. Either return them to stores or contact customer services. Yeah, if you return it, make sure it's in the box. I'm not touching that. A recall notice on shop windows says... Isn't it funny? We can talk about vibrators now and dildos, not butt plugs, but we can talk about them freely and easily, and I'm going to suggest 10 years ago we couldn't. It was still a little bit, who's sniggering at the back, that kind of thing. But now we can talk freely and openly about these things, guys, and I, for one, think that is absolutely wonderful. A recall notice on shop windows says, the voluntary measure is in response to a very small number of isolated reports that wires in the cord have become exposed at the base. Don't expose at the base. Over a prolonged period of use. It adds, the product complies with all relevant European safety testing standards, but as a precautionary measure, we're recalling the wand. It's not the first time it's happened. There's previous. In 2013, customers were told to stop using the Ultimate O vibrator over fears the charger was faulty. Ann Summers, which opened in 1970 and sells 2 million rampant rabbit vibrators a year. Flippin' heck. Flippin' heck. I'm in the wrong game. Evening, Richard.
Hello, how's it going?
Ah!
Yeah, same.
What's happening for you, Richard?
I generally feel a bit awful. But I managed to listen to the two mics without getting aroused last night. Amazingly.
You're the gentleman who's had intercourse whilst listening to the two Michaels shouting at each other.
Yep.
I could see. I was listening to them. I was listening to them for the first half hour on the way home, and I could understand. I was feeling a little bit their anger and their frustration. It's a homoerotic relationship they have. It's unrequited, but they lust after each other.
Oh, I just imagine that they're just fondling each other throughout the whole show.
No, the thing is, I think if they were to actually have sexual contact of any kind, it's like when Niles finally started going out with the English girl in Frasier. Stop being funny. Well, it stops being funny. And I imagine it would be the same with them. If they had any sexual contact, even a little flick or a touch, they would stop being funny.
It's funny you should mention Frasier, because it was actually a sitcom that sort of prompted what I'm going to talk about.
Away you go, sir.
So I moved into a flat about 3 months ago, which is the first place I've ever lived without a washing machine.
Yeah.
So I've had to use laundrettes. And leading, sitcoms had led me to believe that these would sort of introduce all kinds of zany situations into my life.
Yeah. It's not like that at all, is it?
No, I thought I'd meet the love of my life, or, at least have some kind of scam going on. Someone I met at the laundrette.
It's the dullest. It smells nice. I like the smell. If you walk past the window of a laundrette, the smell. There's like an exhaust pipe that comes out of laundrettes, and the smell from that is incredible. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's only me that's.
That's like Subway when they pump out the smell of fresh bread.
Maybe it's fake. But it has been a while, not that long actually, because when our washing machine broke, I think when we were in the last place, I had to go to the laundrette. And there's nothing to do. You just have to sit there for an hour and a half while your clothes
get washed. Was my point. I actually that was the other thing. I kind of expected all these sort of zany situations to happen, as Seinfeld and Friends and everything had told me it would. From waiting there, and I realised that the washing machine tells you how long is left on the cycle, so you can just go somewhere else and then come back.
Oh, do they have times on it now? Because they didn't when I
the new thing.
Yeah, well, I don't. I mean, but saying that, I mean, I remember actually I had to go to the laundrette quite a bit when we lived in the flat because the washing machine died. Yeah, and I got quite friendly with the young lady that worked there. Oh no. I do apologise. I remember the last time I went to the laundrette, I was posh enough to pay for a service wash where you give it to a woman and she does it for you. That was it. I had a service wash.
I've never voted for the Conservatives. I'm sorry.
I know it's I am the hoi polloi. You are the hoi polloi. It was I paid for a service wash and the lady would do it. Then I'd go and collect it before they close up. But it's they're strange. They all look quite 1970s in there.
Actually, this one's sort of like it's like a gentrified laundrette. Cause it's sort of like a dry cleaners combined with a self-service laundrette, and it's got like a nice waiting area, with leather sofas and magazines.
Flipping heck!
Yeah, I know. But then I went and sat down in the waiting area when the first time I used it. And I was like, well, why am I waiting here? I know it's going to be 45 minutes. I'm going to set an alarm on my phone, go home, come back. And I don't think there's much of a sort of huge problem with people stealing second-hand clothes from washing machines.
Well, you don't know. Did anyone? Because of course, when I was growing up, the big thing was people according to the adverts, going in and taking their clothes off and putting them in and sitting there in their pants.
There was one Levi's advert, yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I think it happened in film. I seem to remember a couple of films where people go in and just sit there in their pants, or maybe they weren't films; they were dreams.
I say who doesn't have enough clothes, but saying that last time I went to laundrette, I literally put my coat on with nothing on underneath.
Really? Well, there you go. You're just doing exactly what I just said.
No. Yeah, but I had a coat on.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose it's this. Yeah, Can I ask why? Can I ask why are you feeling rubbish?
Depression.
Yeah. It's getting me today, man. It's really getting me today.
Yeah, I've trazodone for it, but I've run out because I had a really, really awful week last week, and I just run out, and I can't be asked going to the doctors and going through the 20 questions to get some more.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, guys, don't forget just this monthly thing. Please just give me 4 or 5 months, and I promise I'm not going to take them all in one go. I promise.
Yeah.
Just give me 4 or 5 months, guys, because I find this, and also because I've just changed my meds because I see a private psychiatrist, so he's changed my meds. He will. I know what will happen now. I need to renew them. I renewed them online. And I'm dreading going to Boots to collect them because he writes to my GP and my GP never updates the records. So I will get my old prescription, then I'll have to go and have actual face-to-face conversation with the lady in the reception, who is delightful. But I say, look, sorry, if you look on my, you'll see that Neil's just, if you can just, great, okay, thanks very much. I don't want to go and talk to people, Richard.
Yeah, that's basically the similar thing I'm going to, because, like, I always said to my doctor, I won't take anything daily, like, I can usually handle it well enough to not need to take anything daily. I don't like the feeling of sort of like feeling nothing.
Yeah.
So sort of just said it, and then he managed to convince him to prescribe me something called trazodone, which I basically only take on sort of the worst days.
Wow. Okay, I've not heard of that. Yeah.
And he gave me like it's sort of like anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a weird mix between Valium and MDMA. He sort of gave me enough for about. Probably lasted me about 3 months, and now I've run out. I'm just like, I'm going to have to go back and have the discussion and sort of...
To be tested. Yeah. Because I'm on these new things, and I went and saw my eldest swimming today, and it was brilliant. But I wasn't really there. I wasn't there. I'm still settling into these things. So I was kind of chewing my face off, and I was just like, because it was hot. It was a hot swimming pool, and so I'm just there feeling hot and looking at the ceiling, going, "Oh, this is nice." Oh, flip! I'm meant to be watching that, and I just look at the water and go, oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, I'm meant to be watching the boy. Where's the boy gone? Where's he over there? Right, okay. Oh, look at that, isn't that wall nice? And I was away with the fairies, and I sat there, and I saw enough of it, and I sat there, and then I just thought. Then I had quite a long day of having to go and do this voiceover and come and do this, and I was just thinking, do you know what? It'd be really nice just to drive to an airport, just go somewhere. For a month. Imagine just going somewhere for a month. Won't fix it, wouldn't solve it.
Yeah.
But just going somewhere for a month.
There's a big sort of like drop when you come back there. That's actually what caused my sort of last week.
Oh,
what
right.
so awful was I went to Milan for the weekend with a like friend.
Yes.
And then came back and I've got to go back to work tomorrow morning.
Crashed a bit.
And so I'm not sure the crash was worth the weekend, to be honest.
It sucks, doesn't it? It really sucks, and I'm really scratching my head as to how I can turn this around a bit. So tonight's show is, I think the word is perfunctory. Is that the right word? Perfunctory? Is that a word?
Tonight's show is why do you wait at a laundrette when you're waiting for your clothes?
There's no point in doing it. The thing about this show is weird. There's no one phones in for the topics. That's why I don't do topics, because when I do, and I've had some cracking topics, no one phones in.
Counties work well.
Counties was fun. That was probably the peak. It's all downhill from counties.
King of Wales and County Durham. I don't even know what County Durham is.
Mate, it's yours, and it will be yours forever.
Although Rashid still hasn't. Speaking of laundrettes, Rashid was meant to pick my dry cleaning up and hasn't.
Well, we'll give him a boot up the arse. Richard, nice to talk to you, man.
Cheers, man.
Keeping on.
Cheers.
Take care. Bye bye. 0344 499 1000.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh dear. Look at that on the internet, Mike. Speaking of one of the two Michaels, it's all kicking off online. Mike Graham is having a row with somebody, and I'm struggling to find the start of the thread. It's all over the shop. I will find the start of the thread at some point. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. So I told you it's all sex stories tonight. Sex sells. Sex sells, guys. There's a really weird story. Well, okay. First of all, there's several weird stories. Front page of the Daily Mirror. I know who killed Jill Dando. You seen that? Oh. So there's that. And I still say, to this day, there was a fella in the street the day that Jill Dando was killed. He was found hiding in a skip, and he claimed to be a lord. He had nothing to do with it, right? No, absolutely nothing to do with it. It was pure coincidence. But, he was also found on the same street as another murder that took place several years before. Now, I'm the only person that remembers this guy in the Jill Dando murder. I'm the only person. No one else remembers it, right? This guy, he was, I remember, I'm sure there was a picture of him. He was quite tall and thin and white hair. And he was found hiding in a skip in the street that Jill Dando was murdered on the day of the murder. And he claimed he was a lord. And investigation showed he was also, by coincidence, discovered in a street of another murder a few years before. And I am the only... I wish I'd cut that story out. Because it was it was kind of a footnote. It had nothing to do with it. It was kind of a footnote, wasn't it, in the thing. And nobody else remembers it. And I've tried to Google it, and I can't find it. It's almost as if it's been wiped from the internet because they don't want you to know about it. I mean, it's a fascinating story, isn't it? For some reason, we like unsolved murders. We dig unsolved murders. You know, it excites us. And when it was a television personality such as Jill Dando, it excited. No, it does excite us. It excites us. It's the front page of the Daily Mirror. You only put things on the front page because you know they're going to sell. A hitman claims he knows who shot TV star Jill Dando, a retired detective revealed yesterday. Now, the retired detective ain't no ordinary retired detective. It's Mark Williams Thomas, who, of course, is the fella that broke Jimmy Savile being a pedo. He's brilliant. I've met Mark. When I used to review the papers on This Morning, imagine that. They used to trust me to review the papers on This Morning, and I met Mark a couple of times in the green room. Absolutely fascinating bloke. And when he says stuff, when Mark Williams Thomas says stuff, I believe him. I believe him because he knows his stuff, and he never breaks a story before he's got the evidence to back it up. We'll come back to that in a minute. Hemo!
Hello.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Well, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I've been listening. I've been enjoying it.
Thank you.
Except, I must have missed something because I heard you say it's all about sex. But I didn't hear anything about sex from the Michaels.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. If you want, Emma, I can touch myself while you're talking to me.
You can do.
I am.
Do you want me to do it as well?
Yes, please. Feels good, doesn't it?
It feels all right.
Someone's getting excited in the back.
Yeah, that's my friend Liana.
Yeah.
She's touching herself.
Wow, this suddenly it's a menage a trois.
Well, that's what you. I thought that's what this was about.
Sex sells.
Exactly. Sex.
Yes. What you called in for? Sex?
Well, if it's on the table. No, I just called in to say hi.
Not on a table, mate. That's unhygienic. Sex is it has to be done in the bed. There's not on the dining table, on the floor, on the. Oh, I'm so horny.
You
when
could
we
be
go
on
upstairs,
the floor.
Could do it on the. Well, no. Let's.
As in, like you could be stood on the floor and the person
on the bed. Yeah, I know. I get that, but even that I think is inappropriate. The stairs. Oh, I'm so horny. Let's go upstairs. I can't wait to get upstairs. Let's do it on the stairs. What?
No, I don't.
Let's do it on the stairs. No, I'm not doing it on the stairs. That's nuts.
Clothes off as well.
No, imagine the. No, it's got to be the bed, Hamo. Anything else, I think, is abnormal.
I think so. What about toys?
For goodness sakes, calm her down. Throw a bucket of cold water over her.
Yeah, I will do. Calm down.
Calm down, love. Calm down. Did you just call in to talk about sex?
Or anything else, really. Let me think. Well, I called in ages ago.
We've never spoken, have we?
Yeah, we have actually once.
Uh-oh. On this station?
On this station, yeah.
What about?
In the early days.
Yeah.
I was moving house, and I'd been to the Skip, and I was in a little altercation at the Skip. Anyway, I'm in that house that I moved into now, and it's fine. You said I sounded worried about it, but it's turned out really good.
Oh, well, then there you go. Why did you have an altercation in a Skip?
My friend, he was putting the wrong stuff in the bins, and the guy told him off. He didn't like being told off, and he actually nearly kicked us out.
Yeah, oh, flip, yes.
There was a lot of shouting and beeping of horns.
Yeah, I don't like shouting and beeping of horns. There's no need.
Talking of horns, back to the sex.
Here we go.
No, actually, I've got nothing else to say. I do like it, though.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Hemo, and I hope that you continue to like it, and I hope that it continues in a healthy, loving way for you. How's about that?
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Hemo. Thank you, mate. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Interesting to hear Hardeep Singh Kohli today on Radio 4 talking about how he was made to feel uncomfortable by a prank call. He got, someone phoned us up with the prank app. It's a pre-recorded call. And he was on talking about how it made him feel uncomfortable. Imagine being made to feel uncomfortable. That must be horrible. I'd hate that. Being made to feel uncomfortable. He got very touchy about it. And it was interesting to hear I don't know if he was called at work or not, but imagine being made to feel uncomfortable. That was a really sad story, I thought. Really sad. When Mark Williams-Thomas speaks, I listen, because he knows his stuff. He knows what he can get away with. He knows not to go too far with the story until he's got the ev. And he's broken some cracking stories. And he's a nice bloke. He's a thoroughly decent bloke. Mark Williams-Thomas said he showed a list of 100 suspects to the thug, who picked one he alleged had killed the TV star in, flipping it, 1999. Oh, my God. He said he has told me who he believes it is. Full story, page 5. We go to the full. Because there's so many. When you get unsolved murders, and when it's an unsolved murder of a celebrity, there are so many rumours, conspiracy theories flying around. Because people saying it's because she worked on Crime Watch. Was it that? Was it Serbian mafia? Was it because she was about to expose a celebrity paedophile ring featuring politicians and rock stars? Police are hoping a hitman. Wouldn't it be great if they got the fella as well? Wouldn't it be great? Here we go. Here are the theories. Let's read the theories. I hope this isn't too macabre for me to do this. I'm not. I don't want to be too mawkish, but I'm fascinated. So I hope it's not. If I feel I'm being too mawkish, I'll stop. But we'll see. 5 possibilities. Oh no, we'll do that in a minute. Police are hoping a hitman can help them solve the Jill Dando murder case nearly 18 years after she was gunned down outside her home. A retired detective told yesterday how he'd spoken to the hired hand who claimed to know the brutal criminal behind the killing of the Crime Watch presenter that shocked Britain. Mark Williams-Thomas said he handed the hitman a list of around 100 potential suspects and asked if the murderer was on it. He indicated it was, but did not reveal the name, fearing his life would be in danger if he did. His voice disguised and talking on condition of anonymity, he said, "There are names here that I recognise, and there's one in particular that stands out to me. But I wouldn't identify that person because it's very dangerous." She's only 37. Look. When asked who he thought killed Jill, who was shot aged 37, outside her home at Fulham, southwest London in April 1999, the hitman said, "Certainly someone professional, highly dangerous, I'd say." Oy. He urged officers to follow up the leads and drain a canal for the murder weapon. No, I don't want to read any more on that. I don't want to read any more than that. The theories go on there, but I don't. I don't want to read it. It is a bit grim, isn't it? It's a little bit mawkish. Let's not dwell on that. Let's hope instead that Mark is listened to. We should get Mark on the show one night because I think he's absolutely brilliant. 0344 499 1000. Evening, Ben.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, mate. What you got?
Not a lot.
No.
How are you?
It's one of them shows tonight, Ben. I feel like I am treading water. I'm gritting my teeth. Look, we're over halfway through.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes! I just want to get my head down and get on. Just finish the show. It's not It's not groundbreaking tonight. It's all right. You know, it's a decent, fair to middling, average show, and I can live with that. But I just want to get out, get home, take a pill, go to sleep, night, and that'll be it.
Oh, well, let me just say one thing. I haven't listened for a little while.
Oh, where have you been? You've got a life?
No. I don't have a life. But I've been podcast cheating and listening to other things, although including you on other podcasts. But just now I thought, I'll have a little listen live, and you literally mentioned 3 things that have all been playing on my mind of late, including the murder of Jill Dando.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really weird because, I mean, it's difficult because if I said anything, it would be libelous. But as you know, I work in television.
Yeah.
And I worked at ITV, and there was a very strongly believed rumour at ITV about someone who was heavily involved.
Don't say any more. But
I can't go there.
No, don't. But
weird that you were talking about.
But you have my email address, Ben. You and I've heard those rumours. I've heard rumours about celebrity, potential celebrity involvement in it because of what she might have been working on or what she might have been about to expose. And it's weird, isn't it? Because I want to say it's easy to dismiss those things as conspiracy theorists and nonsense. But ever since Jimmy Savile, and ever since the first Rolf Harris case, he's still a convicted paedophile, despite what may have happened today. Ever since those things broke, anything is possible now. Anything is possible, it seems.
Well, I think the thing with the person with the rumours that were flying around where I was working was, it was so easy to believe.
Yeah. Well, don't say any more, because I don't want to get... I don't want either of us to get into trouble, and we might do. And people might start putting 2 and 2 together, and that isn't fair.
No, it's not.
So, but yeah, anything is possible these days. It's been proved by Glitter and Savile and Harris and Stuart Hall and all of these people that anything is possible. When are they going to start the inquiry into the VIP paedophiles? And I don't know why we call them VIP paedophiles. When are we going to start the inquiry into the MPs and the cover-up and Greville Janner and all of that stuff? When's that happening?
Oh, never.
It's almost like they don't want us to know about it.
Oh, you think?
Isn't it, though? It's almost like they don't want us to know about all the MPs that were raping children in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and Greville Janner and all of that kind of stuff. Why would they want us to know?
Was it Cyril Smith as well?
Cyril Smith. Some fella, remember that there was a dossier that was handed in to Leon Britton and it went missing, right? There was one, I had an interview with one fella who, I think he might have been a Liberal, I'm not sure. He got a copy of that dossier. And he told, the head of the party or something, he had a copy of that dossier. That afternoon, MI5 rocked up at his door. Heard been interviewed on Radio 4. MI5 rocked up at his door and demanded the dossier, and they took it off him. And he was on Radio 4 going, well, this happened 35 years ago, but I believe it was taken off me because Cyril Smith stepped in and demanded it be taken off me.
Yeah.
Cover up? What cover up?
We're through the looking glass.
Mate, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. I kind of buy into that thing now that there is a network of, paedophiles that run this country.
Oh my God! Now that's like.
Did I just jump the shark there?
I think we should dial back on that one.
Did I jump the shark there? I may have jumped the shark there.
Oh, nice reference. No, anyway, I just wanted to say something quickly because I know it's a bit of a gear change.
Uh-oh.
Well, as I said, I tuned out. I tuned in, and there was 2 other Bens talking to you, and I was like, "No, that's not right."
No.
I felt wrong. You were talking. I felt like you were Ben cheating.
Yes.
And I was very upset about that.
Bench press.
Bench press.
It doesn't make sense, but it's
no, it doesn't make. Anyway, but I listened to the Bowling Green massacre podcast.
Oh, yeah, this is just...
Which was fantastic,
Thank
and I think it's really great that you paid tribute to those people.
We are very, very proud that we were one of the first to pay tribute to the many hundreds of people who lost their life, and also we're really hoping that we might win an award for it as well.
I hope so. I hope so, especially in honesty and realness.
Yeah.
But it did actually make me think of something that is real. Not that that's not real, but something very real. I lost my neighbours were killed in the Tunisian attack.
Oh, flipping heck! Were they really?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
oh, man alive, man! That obviously has been in the press a lot recently.
That's been in the press a lot more than the Bowling Green.
Yeah, well, rightly so. To be completely frank about it, that has been some incredible stories. There was that amazing story, wasn't there, of that young lad that protected his granddad by jumping in front of his granddad when the guy was was firing the gun. Incredible, flipping it. I'm sorry, man. That's
don't. It's not about. I mean, it's more that it was a wrenching shock, and they were lovely people. But what is funny is, you know, people are killed in. Well, people die every day.
Yeah.
But people are killed in these terrorist attacks, and you don't know them. You know, they're just faces. Named.
Yeah.
Now, I knew these people, and they were lovely, lovely people. But what I wanted to say to you was, I remember so vividly the last time I saw them, and they said to me, they were literally about to go. It was the day before they went to Tunisia on holiday, and they were really excited about it. And the last thing he said to me was a cock joke.
Good for him.
And my last memory of this man was doing a joke about his knob.
Well,
and I will never forget that.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. It's funny, isn't it? Because we all like to think that we're going to have such important last meetings with people. We don't. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen after the show tonight. We don't know. But seriously, we don't know if we're going to make it home after the show tonight. Who knows what's around the corner for you? Ben, thank you, mate. Yeah, and it's been reading some amazing stories about what happened in Tunisia. Amazing bravery from the people on the beach. What sounded like amazing cowardice from the authorities, who held back, who delayed getting there in time. They could have saved lives, but from what we heard in the inquest, it sounds like a lot of them just held back because they didn't want to get involved. Ah, man, it's a crazy world, isn't it? It's a crazy old world. 0344 499 1000.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
I don't know if Scott's still keeping count, but Barry Westwood's grandchild has texted in. I don't know if that merits trending on Grindr. Michael!
Good evening, Iain. How the devil are you?
I'm very well, Michael. Always nice to talk to you.
First time caller.
Oh, you must say yeah, you're right. Actually, yes, it's just a familiar sounding name.
Yeah, Michael from Douglas.
From Douglas?
Yeah.
It's not Douglas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you, Iain, I work with a calf. Kathy Floyd, and she's a right know-all.
Aren't they, though?
She's a right know-all, right, and she's always correcting me.
Yes.
You know how much that annoys you when someone's always correcting you?
Yes, I do know how much that annoys me when someone's always correcting you.
We can't settle this one dispute.
No.
So
okay.
You're the only real person that I can ask as a voice of reason.
Okay, lovely. What, tell me the question and I'll sort this out.
Please, let me be right. What's the other name, right? You know, for your navel.
Yes.
What's the other name for that?
What are the options?
Well,
I would call it the belly button.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, she's got me again.
Why, what did you think it was called?
The belly button.
Thanks for calling, Michael.
Bollocks.
0344 499 1000. We're here to help with any issues, any problems you may have. More than happy to. So, say sex. Sex. Judy groped by the Munchkins. Judy Garland. Now, I've heard this story before. Judy Garland was groped by the Munchkins on the set of The Wizard of Oz, according to her ex-hubby. The adult dwarf actors... I heard there was a lot of sex going on during the making of The Wizard of Oz from the Munchkins. I've heard that. The adult dwarf actors allegedly targeted her, despite her being 16. Was she? When she played Dorothy in the 1939 classic. I hate that film. Her ex, Sid Luft, wrote in an unfinished memoir, "They thought they could get away with anything as they were so small. They'd make Judy's life miserable by putting her hands under her dress. The men were 40 or old." That's terrible. Garland said of the Munchkins, they were drunks. They got smashed every night, and the police used to scoop them up in butterfly nets. The dwarf actors earned at least $50 a week and blew it on hookers and gambling as they stayed at Culver Hotel in LA during filming. Here we go. Producer Mervyn Leroy said, "They had orgies in the hotel, and we had to have police on every floor." Bert Lahr, who played the Cowardly Lion, added, "Put 'em up." Many Munchkins made a living by panhandling, pimping, and whoring. Midgets brandished knives and often had passions for larger personnel. Flipping it. Makes you think, doesn't it? Evening, Darren.
Hello again.
Hello, Darren. What you got for us, boss?
I was talking about Marjorie last week. You told her to go to bed.
Yes.
Hello, Ian. I'm sober tonight, so hello.
Good for you. Well
cheers. Firstly, I woun't have minded part of it on the whole thing.
You wouldn't have what? Say that again?
I wouldn't. All right, I'll slow down this time.
Down.
I wouldn't have minded a part on the whole thing. It sounded like they had a good time on The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, well, no, well, you've got to be careful making jokes about sexual assault.
I wasn't sort of joking. It sounded like if that was serious, they were having a good time, seriously. Ian.
Well, they sound like they had a good time. I don't know whether she particularly had a good time.
Oh, well, all right, I didn't think she played any part in the whole aspect of it.
Okay, maybe you missed
that. Right, I've heard you going on about video games before when you're going home, yeah?
Yes.
Are you just Xbox?
I'm just Xbox.
Oh, Ian, man, come on. PS4 is decent as well. I can't get away with the Xbox. That's why I wanted to talk, because I'm 100 in the world on the snooker on the game.
You're 100 in the world on the snooker on the game?
Yeah. It's a really crappy £9 game for the PS4, but it's got about 200,000 people playing.
And so, you're ranked...
All right. Just 113 at present.
Hey, have you heard the interview with Ronnie O'Sullivan where he talks like a robot?
No, is that something to do with the headset?
No. Hang on a minute. Where did it?
I put it on, please.
Hang on, I'm going to put it on. Don't you worry about it.
I'm a massive snooker fan, like, to be honest.
Oh, hang on a minute. Where it will be here. Larry sent it to me. Right, okay. So listen to this, right? So for some reason, well, there is a reason for it, but the reason's quite boring. So this is Ronnie O'Sullivan being interviewed, and he's doing this as a protest, right? Listen to this.
Right. Memories must go back to when you won this tournament, when you were 17 years of age, beating Stephen Hendry. Does that sort of resonate when you walk through the door?
Yes, it resonates very much for me when I come here to the Preston Guildhall. It has many good memories.
Okay. So what about the rest of the tournament? Are you happy with your game? Is everything good going forward? You've quite a long few weeks ahead of you.
I am very happy with my game. I hope I can keep playing very well till the end of the season.
Well, you played a bit like a robot tonight. Well done, Ronnie.
Thank you very much, Neil.
I love that. I think that's brilliant.
What do you think of that, Ian? Do you think he was just taking the mick?
It says on there, that's from the BBC website, and it's ITV footage, and it said it was a protest about being investigated by the snooker for being, I don't know, for whatever.
Right, what tournament was it, if you don't mind asking?
Oh, for crying... it's the snooker tournament.
Right, well, I know it was, right, no bother. And the point is, with the snooker,
yeah.
I went to the what's it called, the Wembley Conference Centre when my mum and dad when I was about 15.
Yeah.
To watch Jimmy White play Cliff Thorburn, and guess who I got an autograph of?
Cliff Thorburn?
No,
Jimmy
David
White?
Icke. David Icke.
David Icke. That was before he
went
switched careers.
Before I watched his documentary and he went the way he went.
Yeah. Yep.
It was just a point anyway, to be honest with you, mate. No, but that's all it was. I was wondering about the video games and what you liked on them. Because I got a message from someone when I was playing saying 46 down and you're still playing video games, and he constantly sent us messages in.
Well, who said? Well, I do find myself playing, because I do play Xbox and I play online, and I do find myself playing with 15-year-old boys, and it does feel a little bit. It does feel inappropriate, if I'm honest.
Massively. But this kid, he was coming across as about, I don't know, 22, 23. But I chose to ignore him. Because I have had kids. I have had kids. I'm too old for that. I've got kids and all that. I work. I'm self-employed and all that.
Yeah, I've had kids having a go at me, and I've retaliated by saying, "Yeah, but you're going to have to go to bed in a bit, and I can stay up all night if I want."
Bath time, school in the morning. I've done
but then I realise I'm bullying.
Hello.
Yeah. Then I realise I'm bullying children online, and that's probably inappropriate.
I know, but you're not allowed to sort of...
You're not allowed.
...experience to tell them to go away.
No, you can't. You
Well,
can't.
they won't leave you alone. You cannot block the people.
You have to...
But do you think I'm too old to be playing that when I go out?
I'm going to cut you off because you're not listening to a word I'm saying. It does... You do end up playing... Well, I don't really play the Call of Duties much, but when you do, you're up against 15-year-old kids, and it does feel it feels inappropriate. So I turn my headset and my microphone off because it would be, I'm sat there effing and jeffing. You can't do that when you're playing against kids. When I play some of the geekier games like Halo Wars or something, you're playing generally against grown Americans. And here's the thing: am I the only person that does this? When I go online and I'm wearing my headset and I'm communicating, I pretend to be an American. I don't know why. Hey man, it's great to be playing this game with you tonight. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. And if it's a British person, I pretend that they're French. I don't understand your French accent. I'm not French. I'm British. Pardon? I'm British. Oh, I didn't understand. You sound French. Whereabouts are you from? I'm Great Britain. I do all that stuff. And actually, that becomes more fun than playing the video game themselves. There's a weird photo shoot. Right, sex tonight. Sex special. There's a weird photo shoot that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable because it feels a bit incestuous. Have you seen it? So it's Christy Brinkley. Now, she was married. Was she married to Billy Joel? I don't know if she still is, right? And it's her doing a photo shoot. And she's 63, right? So the story is, it's after 38 years after her iconic debut. She's doing another swimsuit, and boy, oh boy, she's 63, and doesn't she look great for 63? Isn't that fantastic? Beautiful, lovely. So she's wearing very skimpy, sexy, high cut around the crotch area swimsuit, right? With two other women who are in even skimpier swimsuits, bikinis, very skimpy bikinis. Very sexy photo shoot. They're her daughters. Look at that. That's wrong, isn't it? It just feels... Christy Brinkley smoulders in a shoot for the cover of Sports Illustrated, 38 years after her iconic debut. The model, 63, hardly looked a day older than in the 1979 Snap and wore a similar black swimsuit. But the Snap showed how times have changed as she posed with daughters Alexa Ray Joel, 31, and Sailor Brinkley Cook, 18. Daughter's called Sailor. Writing on Instagram, she said, "Thank you, Sports Illustrated, for sending the powerful message that good things come in packages of every size." She's still a very slim, I'm going to say it, they're all skinny women. So they come in every size as long as it's skinny. And we do not come with an expiration date. Christie even appeared to walk on water during the photo shoot thanks to a submerged apple crate. She added in her post, "My kids think I walk on water, so let's not mention the apple box concealed just under the surface." It really is the weirdest thing, because they're meant to look sexy. It's sex. It's a sexually charged photograph of a mum and her two daughters, and far be it from me to tell women what you can and indeed cannot do, but that just to me, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, dear listeners. Another hour to go. If you want to give us a call, some of your phone calls have been a little bit ropey tonight. I'm going to be honest. So try harder in the last hour. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Pick up the phone, give us a call. We will call you back, so it will hardly cost you a penny. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk. Is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. Oh yeah, there's this story that's been. This guy's weird, right? Anger at DIY nuts nudity in the front yard. This guy is some kind of deviant, right? You have to be a deviant. I'm not a fan of nudists and nudity, and you have to be a deviant to get your rocks off with this. A DIY enthusiast mixed cement in his front garden while naked. There's jokes about being hard and stuff, which I'm not going to make, because I'm better than that. In view of his neighbours and passers-by, a court heard. Rob Jenner, and he's buff, right? He's a picture of him. He's buff, so it's not, he's a good-looking fella, and he's. But I mean, still, why would you do that? The hell would you think that was appropriate behaviour to do something like that, you pervert? Rob Jenner, 42, said he loves being nude while doing up his house. But neighbour Frederick Black told the court, people don't want to see that. It's not right. Kids walk around that area all the time. It's by school. Oh, God. I mean, I very rarely am nude. The only times I'm nude are in the shower. And that's it. That's it. Sleep clothed. I change in the dark. There's no need for it. All those wobbly bits flapping about all over the place. Flipping heck. Told you, sex, guys. It's a sex special this evening here on Talk Radio. Prosecutor Paul Edwards claimed Jenner's actions alarmed and distressed others. He said, he is not a naturist, he is an exhibitionist. I'd have gone further and said he's a deviant. But defence lawyer Alex Davey said the carpenter of Eccles, Kent is within his human rights. Not in a front garden, not even in I would say no to a back garden, but I can understand that would have, that would be a little bit harder to argue, steady. In the back garden it's inappropriate, but I suppose if you've got fences and trees and stuff like that, it don't matter. The front garden, no, that's inappropriate. That's completely wrong. Let's see let's hope this deviant was sent to prison or fined many thousands of pounds. We read on. Maidstone JPs heard Jenner posted a warning sign. Oh, God. He was cleared of breaching a protection notice and 13 public order offences. Flippin' heck! He got away with it! This is what you voted for, guys. You voted to leave. You voted for Brexit. You voted for Trump. And this is what you've got. Perverts doing their cement mixing and gardening in the nude. For crying out loud. We don't want that. I've never got it. I've never got it. There's this thing, isn't there, now they're saying that if we're nude more and we see more normal, in inverted commas, shaped people being nude, then we'll have less issues, less body issues, and we can't be body shamed and fat shamed and all of that stuff. No, I don't want to see it. I've got no desire to see people in the nuddy. I don't do anything I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. And you go to these, these nudist places. And I've been to a nudist place because we're at a local radio station, and there was a local nudist place. And every 6 months, someone from the radio station would go down to the nudist place. And some people would, some of the reporters would go and get naked. Not me. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't going to do that. Even when I interviewed them in the sauna, I kept my coat on, guys. Because I didn't be with them. Because as I say, it's not natural, but I suppose, it isn't. There's something fundamentally wrong with people's heads if they think that just sitting. I mean, they're in the bar. I'm interviewing them in the bar, and the bloke sat there on his stool with his balls hanging out and his dick hanging. And I just think, why are you doing that? And you think you're sitting on a stool?
That's unhygienic. I wouldn't burn that stool. Disgusting. And yet they think that it's all right, and they go and play bowls and tennis without clothes on. That's unhealthy, because you can't have all your bits slapping about like that. That's dangerous. That's actually dangerous. You're meant to wear clothes when you're playing tennis to support your sexual organs. Don't want them slapping around in your thigh. It's disgusting. These people, they get me angry. They get me really angry, because it's just not right, guys. It's just not right. God's sakes. Now, there's this device. Look at this. I can't believe this works. Right. I cannot believe this works. But there's this it doesn't work for this fella. He got done for it. I know it does work. Look, a salesman who fitted, or a salesman, 03444991000, who fitted a £300 laser cloaking device to his BMW to dodge police speed guns has avoided prison. He's younger than me. Look, he looks much older than me. Ben Kitto, 41, who travels 45,000 miles a year, imagine, for his job, bought the device on the internet. And it's this little box that you plug into your car. That's supposed to... Does it work? They have a little separate box here that describes what it is. Let's jump to that and read exactly what this is. The scanners can be sold, bought and fitted legally because they also have a parking sensor mode. But use as a jammer is illegal because it creates the offence of obstructing the police. So it does work. Isn't that weird? Just don't speed. And listen, I can hardly talk. I've been to court for speeding, and it was the most terrifying experience of my life. I'm not ashamed to admit, I cried. I cried in court because I was terrified. Because I'd always been brought up to respect, the law and authority and all of that stuff. And fair play, I got too many speeding points. I got too many speeding points, and I went to court, and I threw myself at the mercy of the magistrates. And fair play, they in the intervening year since the event, it took a year to go to court. 3 points had come off my licence, and they said, right, what we'll do is we're going to give you a big fine, and we're going to put 3 points on, so you're back up to 9. Don't do it again. And I went, oh, thank you. Really sorry, I'll never do it again. It was terrifying. Imagine being in court for a murder. Flippin' heck. God, I was terrified. Absolutely terrified. The most stressful and humiliating experience. And if anyone's seen me drive now, I don't even get close to 70 miles an hour on the motorway. I don't even get close to it. 65 miles an hour, please. Yo, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. I ain't going through that again. It honestly, and you're there. I'm going to be honest. The whole place is full of scumbags. I mean, there really are scumbags there, and I'm there because of speeding. I'm absolutely petrified. 0344 499 1000. Gordon, stay there. Come to you after this.
Late night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Evening, McGordon.
Good evening, Iain, the king of late night radio. How are you?
Very well, Gordon. Nice to speak to you. We've not spoken before, have we?
Oh, no, we have, yeah. I'm Gordon from St Albans.
Oh, we've spoken before, yes, of course, yes.
Yeah,
you were in a pub?
Yeah, it's closed now.
That's a shame.
Shut down,
yeah. The best things don't last forever, do they?
They don't.
No.
Got to move on.
You've got to move on. Have you moved on?
Yeah, we were in the Friars tonight instead.
Good lad.
Cracking pub. Cracking little boozer.
Love it!
Iain?
Yes, Gordon?
Do you remember the roly-polies?
I do remember the roly-polies. What was the name of the main roly-poly? The roly-poliest of them all?
Granny Smith?
Mo.
Oh, right, yeah, Mo, yeah.
She was the shortest, dumpiest, roundest one with the white hair.
Yeah. Now, what kind of programme? Like, they'd do a little kind of tap dancey thing, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and they had, like, shimmery outfits on.
Would that be on, like, Blue Peter or something, or like what would they be?
They'd be on like variety shows, so they'd be on things like the Generation Game or
3, 2, 1.
3. It's that kind of thing. Now it's time for the roly polies, and the joke was they were fat old women dancing, and this was you've got to remember, Gordon, this was before YouTube.
It was, yeah.
So that stuff was still a novelty to us.
Yeah. And the thing was, like, looking back, it was a load of old tosh, but
yes,
I'd sooner watch them than Hollyoaks.
Oh, for God's sakes, yes, totally, of course.
Along a similar vein, right, as what were they called again?
The roly-polies.
Roly-polies, yeah.
Yes.
Now, I've looked for this online, can't find anything. Maybe you can remember it.
Yeah.
There was this kind of bunch of, they were like kind of acrobats, and they'd be in fancy dress.
Yes.
And they'd run and they'd jump on a little trampoline and they'd kind of crash into, they were kind of like clowny acrobats.
Yes.
Is that ringing any bells?
Well, I mean, I know of...
Be dressed as a policeman, want to be dressed as a,
No, I don't, that doesn't ring any bells.
Maybe I dreamt it.
I think you might have dreamt that one. Maybe it's the Mandela effect.
On YouTube.
Yeah, no, because it didn't exist. It only exists in your imagination.
Well, last time I called up, just onto another thing now, I'm a bit jumping all over the place.
Yes,
I'm nervous.
No, don't worry.
Caller.
We're all nervous.
Do you asked me last time I called up, you said, what's your favourite thing I've ever done? Because I was saying, Ian, you're brilliant.
Yes.
And I remembered what the best thing you've ever done that I can remember.
Okay.
When you interviewed Adamant.
Yeah, interviewed Adamant. He phoned my sister up.
It was a brilliant interview, and he was telling the story about when he performed at Motown's 25th anniversary.
Yes, he did, yeah.
And he knackered up his knee.
The only white artist to perform at that.
Yeah. No one had heard of him.
Yeah.
He had to follow Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk.
Yeah.
And then he knackered up his knee, prancing about, and then Marvin Gaye and Diana Ross had to come on and help him off.
Yes, they did, yeah, it's a true story.
Yeah, that was such a great interview. I loved that interview.
And that's the favourite thing of mine that has ever happened. Of yours. Of me.
Yeah. I loved that interview.
He won't come. We've been trying to get Adamant to come on this show since day one, and he won't return our calls.
Oh, mate, that must be heartbreaking.
It really is, because I thought that Adam and I had a close bond, and it turns out that he doesn't give a stuff about me anymore.
He was plugging, like he was bringing out some new stuff on vinyl, wasn't he? Special vinyl.
He was plugging. No, the thing was, because he was offered, because this was when I was at a music station, and no one else wanted him. No one wanted to touch him. And I went, I'll have Adam, man. That'd be brilliant. I'll get him to phone my sister up, and I can show off, because she had a bit of a crush on him.
He's got a short memory, hasn't he?
Who?
Adamant.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. The other interview that was really good as well that you did was the documentarian guy,
Nick Broomfield. Yeah, love Nick Broomfield. I've interviewed him a couple of times. I love Nick Broomfield.
Yeah. After that, I got into like watching. Some
he was saying how he'd recently done, or he was owed money, and the production company were refusing to pay him. So he was going and doing a sit-down protest, wasn't he, in the reception every day. Of the company until they paid him his money.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And was he filming it?
I don't know if he was filming it or not. I can't remember, but I think he might have been, actually.
That one kind of, that film that he made, Ghosts.
But the Chinese, the Chinese winkle pickers. No jokes, because they all died. Yeah,
it'd be so relevant now as well.
To
really,
what?
Really heart-rendering.
Yeah, heart-rendering. I don't think heart-rendering is a word, but yeah, it was heart-rendering.
It rendered my heart.
Yeah, but in that case, we've made me go all camp. In that case, good.
And after I watched him, it led me to kind of take more interest in other documentaries.
Yes.
I was watching one the other day. I didn't catch the name of it, but it was about kind of police incompetence in America and stuff. And it was about these... It was following these two cousins, and one had got blonde hair and one had got dark hair.
Yeah.
And they were just getting pulled over by the police all the time.
Yeah.
They'd got this like orange car with a flag on it. I didn't catch the name of it at the start.
They weren't the Duke boys, were they?
Oh, I don't know.
Did they have a sexy sister who wore hot pants?
Oh, I don't know if it was the sister. Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard.
Weird uniforms.
Yeah. You've watched that? That's not a documentary, Gordon. That's a TV series from the 80s.
Oh. I missed the start. It was like fly on the wall stuff.
Yeah, fly on the wall stuff. Yeah, Darren. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's try again.
Well,
Darren.
Again, you hung up on us, but I'm sorry. I'll not rattle on and let you finish.
Oh. Right. Well, Darren's back on. Okay.
Hi. Right, thank you. We're talking about video games, weren't we?
Well, you were, yeah.
Well, sorry. Ian, I just apologise for talking over it, but the point was, I was a question. You're how old are you, if you don't mind us asking, sir?
I'm 43.
All right, well, I'm 46. Will you still be playing video games at that age?
I don't know.
Well, that was my whole question, to be honest.
Well, thanks for calling again.
Cheers.
I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, let alone what I'm going to be doing in a little over 2 years' time. I haven't got a flipping clue. So don't ask me what I'll be doing when I'm 46. How the hell am I supposed to know that, guys? A salesman who fitted a £300 laser cloaking device to his BMW to dodge police speed guns has avoided prison. Oh, there you go. This is it. How it works. The jammer comes pre-tuned to the same frequency used by police speed traps. It has a parking sensor mode, which is legal, but also a jamming function, which is illegal. It intercepts the beam. This sounds very complicated, when really all you need to do is not speed. That's it. It intercepts the beam coming in from the speed gun. So it's an actual beam as it comes off the speed gun. Isn't that funny? I would never have guessed that. There's a proper beam of light that comes off the speed gun and sends a beam back on the same frequency. The car's speed is scrambled. It also illuminates a light on a box in the car and beeps so the driver can slow down for when he is zapped for a second time by police. Isn't that funny? Just don't speed. That's the thing that I've finally, after ages and countless points and, near misses, the thing I've learnt is don't speed. It's as simple as that. Just obey the speed limit. God, it's taken me to the age of 43 to work that out. I'm a terrible driver. I can put my hand on my heart and say, quite honestly, dear listener, I'm a terrible driver. I have more crashes than I should, and I've been caught speeding more times than I should. And I have now. I've learnt my lesson. Just don't speed. Simple as that. Just don't speed. When you see the speed limit, obey that. And if I'm not sure if it's a 30 or a 40, I'll do 30. I'll do 28. And here's the thing, obeying the speed limit constantly, as I do now, you don't have to get flashed a lot from people. And I drive on in the correct lane. I don't go in the fast lane unless I'm overtaking. I don't hang out in the middle lane guy. I'm not a middle lane hugger because that's against the law. So I'm in the right lane, but you don't have to get flashed a lot just for doing the speed limit. And I'd never really noticed that before, but that seems to be the fashion. Good evening, Richard.
Hi.
Hey, Richard.
Just wondering if you've seen the numbers yet.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you got any comments yet?
Nope.
No. Well, obviously,
well, let's, Richard. Why are we talking about this on air? Why do you want to talk about this on air?
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be talking about this on air.
Not really.
No, I'm just sorry. I just got emotional.
Well, imagine how we feel. So let's not. Why are we? No.
Yeah. Can I have to ask you about something else?
No, it's okay. I mean, for God's sakes, man, come on, dude. How to suck the life out of an already lifeless show. Figures came out, they weren't quite what we hoped. We're still a new station. It's not even a year yet. When are we a year? Next month. About 5 or 6 weeks. We'll have a big party. What was it, March the 21st? Was that the 22nd? Is that what you're saying? Is it the 22nd? So let's have a little look and let's see what day of the week is, because we'll have, if we're on air, It's a Wednesday! We're having a party! You're invited! Not literally. Don't turn up. But you're metaphorically... It was the 21st, wasn't it? See? Thank you, Ed, you muppet. It's a Tuesday! I knew it was the 21st. You're invited! Not literally. Don't turn up. You won't be allowed on the premises. But we'll be having, cake. Not literally. I'm trying to lose weight. Party music. Literally. Hey, let's get a band in. Let's get a band in for let's get a band in. I'm assuming we're still going to be here in those times. Let's get a band in for the very first birthday of Talk Radio on March the 21st. Now, you are welcome, dear listener, to throw your hat into the ring of potential bands to come and play on the birthday show. Although I'd really like a Beatles tribute band. If I'm completely blunt... Beatles. I was going to say Beach Boys, but no. A Beatles tribute band. So my first choice would be a Beatles tribute band, but if you think, dear listener, that you deserve to be the band in the studio on the first birthday of Talk Radio, Tuesday, March the 21st, 2017, then why not send me an email? But don't just send me an email. Send me an email with like some... you know I run a record label, right? I do. And... me and my friend Glenn, we run a Monkeys record label. We release stuff on vinyl and CD, and we're going to release a Monkeys tribute album, right? On CD. It's going to be limited edition CD. It's going to raise money for the Davy Jones Horse Charity, the Memorial Equine Fund. It's a good charity. It's all good and stuff. We're working with the estate of Davy Jones. And so we put out this call, me and Glenn, saying on Facebook and on podcasts and on various Monkeys things, saying, we are releasing an album of cover versions and we want them to be recorded by you, dear listener. Tell us what songs you'd like to do on the album. And, I mean, most of these people are American, right? But I wondered if I was speaking a different language, because I would just get emails with... Some people got it and they said, I'd like to record this. I'll send it in. But then some people just email me saying, you should have Daydream Believer on there. What? You should have Last Train to Clarksville on there. And I do wonder if I'd said something completely different in American, because people were emailing me, telling me that the songs that we should have on there, and I'm thinking, and I didn't reply. I was you some kind of idiot, but I'm sat there thinking, they're just suggesting the songs that we should have on there. What use is that? And then some people would email in saying, well, I've got a band and we're a little bit... When we were doing they were emailing saying, I've got a band and we're a little bit country. Oh, okay. We're quite poppy. Okay, can you send me something to listen to? Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. Flippin' heck. You muppets. March the 21st, be there or be square. 0344 499 1000, Late Nights with Iain Lee.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Oh man, this is what the whole show was going to be about. And for the last 30 minutes, look at Obama and Branson. Just a couple of rich millionaire guys having a lovely holiday. Hey, those guys are crazy. I wish them... what a bromance. Bromance. Fridge or pantry, where do you keep the ketchup? I don't remember the last time we had ketchup in the house. Here's the thing, ketchup is frowned upon in my house. Imagine that. Yet 75% of the people who live there love it. And yet it's the dictatorship under which we live. It is verboten. It's a debate. Now, this is one of those stories. It doesn't have a journalist's name attached to it. So they couldn't even be bothered, or they were too ashamed to put their name on it. Daily Mail reporter. Daily Mail reporter says... It's a debate that's raged across the country, leaving some shoppers struggling to keep their cool
and others seeing red. Should you keep your tomato ketchup in the fridge or the kitchen cupboard? We put it in the fridge, but I bet you're supposed to keep it in the cupboard. We put eggs in the fridge. You're not meant to keep eggs in the fridge. There's loads of stuff. You're not meant to put anything in the fridge, really. You're meant to... pantry, isn't it? You're meant to have, put it in a cool cupboard, but you're not meant to put it in the fridge. Oh, we got the boiler and the electrics fixed. They've been chewed through by a rat. So that's that sorted then. Bloody rats. Should you keep your tomato ketchup in the fridge or the kitchen cupboard? Oh, jeez, they're putting jokes in. Of course they're putting jokes in. This is an important thing, guys, and you're putting jokes in, for God's sakes. Stop putting jokes in. And stop flagging up the jokes. The, source, and they've actually written the word, The, source of the latest controversy is a supermarket that has chosen to stock ketchup in fridges in one of its stores. What the heck? And disagreements have spilled over onto social media sites where shoppers have been arguing vociferously. I took a run-up for that word. I thought it was going to be difficult. Actually, it was quite easy. Over where the sauce should be kept. Well, it's obviously... you're not meant to put it in a fridge. It's meant to be the cupboard. But I choose to put my sauce in the fridge. That's my choice. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you wish to have your say on this most important of subjects. Asda, which is trying out the move at its store in Clapham, South London, carried out a poll showing that 53% of those who took part favoured the fridge. Well, what, I mean, flipping it. What this is a nice little bit of PR fluff from Asda. Maybe Heinz have got involved as well. Maybe. And do you know what? Just this once, I'm going to indulge the PR fluff. Because I want to see how they wrap this one up. I've never got, the brown sauce. HP, what's the fruity sauce? There's a fruity sauce. HP. It's just not daddy sauce. No, there's another one, because my sister used to have it when we were kids, and it used to stink like, it used to make me chuck. It didn't make me chuck, it used to make me want to chuck. She'd have this disgusting, vile, brown, if you're listening, Joe, what was it called? This disgusting fruity sauce, brown fruity sauce, on all of her food. It was disgusting. Dirty. And it would stink and it would get all claggy around the lid. Oh, flipping heck. I've got 2 young kids now, so I'm used to that kind of stuff. But it was just horrible. Asda, which is on Twitter. Users were similarly split. One user wrote, I hate cold ketchup. It does not belong in the fridge. And another one said, don't trust anyone who keeps ketchup in the fridge. But a third said, let's settle this debate once and for all. You're an animal if you don't put open ketchup in the fridge. And then they just listed loads of different tweets from Ari says, Ian, it's my birthday on the same day. Can I come in on the day and celebrate? No. We think this is a creche. Of course you can't. We're not soft play, Harry. No, you can't come in. March the 21st, it's no one's birthday apart from talk radios. And everyone else pales into insignificance, guys. Okay? This is the only one that counts. This is the only one that counts. 0344 499 1000. The advice from most manufacturers is that until they are open, sauce bottles can be stored safely outside of the fridge.
It goes on and on. Well, rubbish, really. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee, Talk Radio.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation. Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here's a weird one. Imagine if your husband tried to kill you. This woman forgave him. No, that's weird. That's weird. They're not together. Let's continue, dear listener. You can call in, by the way, the last 10 minutes of the show. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number, guys, if you want to call in. A retired dentist who tried to murder his wife after losing their savings. Flipping heck, already, that's some kind of story, isn't it? Has been spared prison after she begged a judge not to jail him. Christopher Shipp, 63, stole his wife Shirley Ann's, I'm going to say Shirley Ann's, life savings and pawned her jewellery after he was fleeced out of 200 grand in a pension savings investment scam. I mean, proper desperation measures. When Mrs. Shipp, 73, confronted her husband of 30 years about thousands of pounds missing from her account, he began to throttle her in the bedroom. Grabbing his terrified wife by the waist, I mean, what a story, and attempting to strangle her with one of his ties, Shipp alluded to killing himself, telling her, "I'll be with you in half an hour, I've got the tablets downstairs." It was only when she desperately pleaded with him about their children and grandchildren he let her go and collapsed onto the bed. Oh, flipping heck. Flipping heck. Imagine being that stressed, man. Imagine being that stressed. We'll look at that in a minute. Yes, Barry!
Yeah, it's a quick one. Cut me off when you're ready, Ian. I won't be too long. First of all, mate, don't worry about the numbers on this show, because with you and Kath, this show's going to do very, very well.
Thank you, Barry.
You, mate.
Thank you, Barry.
The last thing,
yes,
I want you to rejoice the end of the evening, because the end of winter is in sight now.
When is the end of winter? When is that happening?
I'll tell you when,
Go.
and I'll tell you how I know.
Okay.
Now, I'm a Virgo, so I'm an earth sign. So I love being outdoors. I love the old garden.
Right.
Today, I put the onion sets in, which is a good sign.
Yes.
Once you get them in, that's a good sign. Following that, I went off on my run this afternoon.
Yes.
Stuck the old iPod on. That's all I've got. You know, I'm totally techno-illiterate.
Yes.
Zach and my granddaughters look after me with all that stuff.
Yes. One of your grandchildren got in touch.
Oh, how's Zach?
They didn't put a name on, and I can't... where's it gone? A big shout-out to Barry Westwood, my granddad.
That's Zach.
Doesn't put a name on it.
He's 18, Zach. He's 6'5". He's a lovely lad.
Flipping heck.
And my granddaughter's 6 foot.
What's it like having grandkids? Because I've got kids, and mine is, they're still babies. They're 7 and 5, so they're still babies. But I can't quite imagine what it'll be like to have grandkids.
Well, I tell you what, Ian, this young generation, they are absolutely blooming lovely.
Oh.
Now, grandkids, you will make, it's a long time to come probably, you will make an excellent granddad.
Well,
I promise you that. It is the nicest experience, and, you get a nice lot of experiences with family, but grandkids have looked after ours. We've done the grandparenting since they were babes in arms, and I've loved every second.
Do you not watch your children, though, being parents and think, oh, no, you're doing it wrong. No, don't do it like that. You do it like this. But you've got to kind of bite your tongue, haven't you?
No, I don't do that, Ian. I take the view, that the parents are the parents.
Yes.
And, if they ask you advice, that's fine. That's a different thing.
Yep.
But I'm very, very blessed. I've got absolutely lovely grandkids. My granddaughter will be staying over on Monday night because we're off up to Glastonbury.
Yes.
So if it's okay with you, I'll get her to call in.
Beautiful. Bring the whole family, Barry. We need everyone we can get.
I tell you what, yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yes.
Now, just my last point.
Yeah.
This is why I can say rejoice, feel grateful. The summer is on the way.
Yeah.
After I'd come out the garden, I went off on my run, stuck the iPod on shuffle.
Yes.
And the first song that come on, Ian, was Here Comes the Sun, George Harrison.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo.
That's cracking. That's all I wanted to say. Finish on a nice positive, mate, and you'll get your incense should get that tomorrow, and a few nice little bracelets in there for you.
Thank you very much indeed, Barry.
Take it easy.
Tutty bye. Tutty bye. Tutty bye. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I had a go at growing vegetables once, and it's kind of fun to start with, right? Because you see you see a little bit of, we were growing, what was it we were growing? Potatoes. Potatoes are easy. You can grow potatoes in a sack. You can grow them in a sack or in a box. Imagine that. That's how easy potatoes are. Because all they want is dirt and dark. And that's it. You can grow a load of potatoes, put a bit of dirt in a sack, and put a couple of spuds in there. Boom! They'll grow into other spuds. A little bit more complicated than that, but you can kind of get the basics. So we did that. We also grew a little bit of sweet corn. But we're going to grow sweet corn, and we had the seeds. You've got to do the seeds indoors first, and you get the tiny pots, and you put the seed in. You've got to put cling film over them, and then when it starts to grow and the little plant starts nudging the cling film, you take it off, and then when they get a little bit bigger, then you go and plant them in the garden. And we did that, and actual sweet corn we had sweet corns growing, cobs of corn. They eventually, I'm going to be honest, they died because right at the key moment when we should perhaps have plucked them, we went away for 2 weeks, and when we came back, they died. So that was a little bit banky. But I honestly, and this is going to sound dumb. I have no idea how that stuff grows. And this is what the whole show was going to be. When I was at the cinema the other day, there's an advert at the cinema now where you show popcorn popping. So you see the corn kernel and then you see it pop, right? How the hell does that happen? How does that work? How does it go from, how does all that, because if you buy, I like it. I don't like popcorn, but I like chewing on a corn kernel. I like the hardness. I like the slight threat that I might crack a tooth. I like that. But how come when they turn into popcorn, all of the hardness goes? There's not even like a little hard bit. I don't understand it. Rashid, I don't understand it.
What don't you understand, Ian?
I don't understand how popcorn works.
Put it in a pan.
Well, I know that, you muppet. I don't understand how you get this hard little kernel, and that you heat it, and it turns into a big fluffy soft cloud.
Oh, you should have asked me earlier. That is, the spontaneous combustion of the overriding masses of the X chromosome. When you heat the actual corn, it expands to a rate of the 2.7 X. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thanks for explaining it so well.
Thank you, Ian. Ian!
Yes?
Have you ever had a friend that thinks they know you?
Oh, yeah.
But they don't. They pull a stunt on you thinking you would enjoy it.
Uh-oh. What's happened to you, Rashid?
Well, the caller earlier from the West Midlands who sounds like Frank Skinner's cousin.
Yes.
He was talking about roly-polygramms.
Well, no, it's about there was a dance troupe in the 70s and 80s who appeared on television called the Roly-Polies.
Well, I'm jumping the gun in my story.
Go on.
Because the Roly-Polies, they inspired... Do you remember those things you could get birthday, like kissograms?
Yes, of course, yes.
Well, one of my first jobs, I worked in a factory. I've got to tell you my most embarrassing story.
Uh-oh.
I worked in a factory. I was 18.
Yeah.
And a girl there who used to work on the power press, because I was the labourer, the general dog's body, yeah, she thought it would be a good idea to get a kissogram, which was like a roly-polygram for me.
Oh, dear.
And basically I was doing my job, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and it was a large size young lady.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Are you Rashid?" I was like, "Yeah." Turned round, and she opened her trench mac, and she said, "Happy birthday."
I don't understand why anyone would think. Do people still do that? Because that feels like a very 90s thing.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. I'm glad.
I can't believe that that's still an ongoing concern, because it does feel like very 90s thing. And you get fat people and you get skinny blokes and you get no, those are the only two, fat women and skinny blokes.
Ian, she looked at my face and she knew that I wasn't going to enjoy it. And I looked at her face and she wasn't happy, and it was so awkward. And the whole factory were there, gathered round. Big surprise! And I was contemplating running out the door.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, that would be embarrassing too. So your mind's going 100 hours. So I just agreed to do whatever she was saying, and I was doing that, going through the motions, but I wasn't feeling it at all, and she wasn't feeling it.
I mean, it's weird. It's a weird thing, actually. But actually, listen, I've got to go. But thank you for that. It does seem like a very old-fashioned concept, doesn't it? To get, like a kissogram to come and, or a sexy lady or a sexy man to come and put cream on their boobs, and you got to lick it off. But in front of everybody at work. That just feels like a very, very weird thing to do.
I'll bring the chips and the dips and root beer, even though dark purple rain clouds are near. When you come around, you bring the summer. I'll lay the basket and blanket out deep, even though weathermen say they'll be sleep. When you come around, you bring the summer. Summer for a sad old snowman freezing in his room. Summer from your clear blue skies will melt away the winter's gloom. I'll bring the sun cream and beach volleyball, even though there is no sand here at all. When you come around, you bring the summer. When you come around, you bring the summer. Summer for a sad old Jack Frost trying to warm his toe. Summer from your golden smile will paint the snowdrops pinky rose. The birds and the bees will fly around me, even though we're deep in January. When you come around, you bring the summer. I know with one bound, you bring the summer. When you come around. Summer, baby, you bring the summer. You bring the summer around. Summer, baby, you bring the summer. You bring the summer around. Summer, baby, you bring the summer. You bring the summer around. Baby, summer, baby, you bring the summer. You bring the summer around.
Talk Radio.
Join the Talk Nation.
Pick up your phone and talk radio.
We'll get you talking.